together and get you to accept, and you can accept Jesus Christ right now. They start sharing from their faith. They start sharing from the life that is inside of them. And people end up getting born again. And they don't need the pastor. You don't need to phone me to lead somebody to the Lord. Every one of you is capable of that. How many of you are saved? If you got born again, then you know how it's done. Amen?
That's right.
Well, if you know how it's done, and when you meet somebody that's not, you can share that with them. And then come and bring them to me and help me rejoice. That way that fruit goes to your account. Oh, Pastor, we have these people and we know them and they're not Christians and we really think you should talk to them because if you would talk to them, maybe you could lead them to the Lord. Maybe you can lead them to the Lord. You already have the connection. Right? That's the model that the church should be working on, but it means that we have to get rid of the traditional model. Well, Pastor, we have so-and-so, they're in the hospital. Have you visited them? Well, no, we're waiting for you to go visit them. Why? Then I'll go visit people from the church. I love to go visit the people from the church. Whether they're in the hospital or not. I love it when they're not in the hospital better. I'll go visit them. I want to do the invitation. But you can go. Each one of us has the ability to go pray with somebody that's in the hospital. You can pray for their healing just as well as I can. Oh, well, there's a new person in church. I hope Pastor goes and talks to them. No. You go talk to them. If there's a new person in church, you should be reaching out and saying, hi, it's good to see you. Glad to have you here. We enjoy. Why? Because chances are these people might relate better to you than to me. So you make the steps, you make the action, you do what's needed. You start maturing and you start doing the work of the ministry. You're doing it. Well, Pastor, are you making these people comfortable? You make them comfortable. You do the visitations. You do the follow-up calls. You. See, God has called the ministry gifts, the apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher, to perfect the saints for the work of the ministry. So when the saints start doing the work of the ministry, the impact increases far beyond what the local church could ever be without that. See, I believe church needs to be a participation action. Everyone participates. Every one of us can say hello. Every one of us can shake a hand. Every one of us can invite somebody over to our house for lunch, dinner, supper, whatever. So when we start at a church, I believe we should be able to sense a level of acceptance, a level of love. We should be able to sense that people care about us and they want us there. We should expect, when we start at a church for the first time, we should expect that people are going to be reaching out and they're going to be inviting us, and they're going to be going out of their way to try and make us feel comfortable. However, as time goes on, we should also expect that we are going to start joining in and we're going to start doing that for other people. That's part of moving out of the nursery into the living room of the church, if you would. We should start saying, hey, you know, there's somebody new. I could go talk to them. I could go make them feel. I could go shake their hand. Instead of just waiting. And a lot of people complain, well, church is so unfriendly. Nobody talks to you. Well, how many people did you talk to? In all of my years in church, I have never yet been at a church where when I talked to somebody, they would not talk back to me.
Come on. Come on.
I have never yet been at a place where when I stood in front of somebody and reached them my hand, that they turned away and walked in the other direction. That's never happened to me. That lets me know that if nobody's talking to me, I should maybe start talking to them. Yeah? See, we should move out of the point where we're expecting everybody to come and coddle us and make us feel comfortable. And we should be moving to the point where we're reaching out and helping other people to feel. And that's part of maturing, and that's part of the things that a pastor looks for. If we have somebody that comes to church, they've come to church for a year or 2 years, and they're still not doing this, there's something wrong. Something isn't happening that should be happening. So every time we come to church, we have a choice to make. We can either say, today I will bring the love of Christ to another, or we can say, today I will slide into my chair and wait for others to bless me. Today, when I meet people, I will bless them and let them see the presence of God. Or today I will sit in my chair and hope that somebody tries to encourage me because I'm really not feeling very loved today. We have a choice. We have a choice to say, today I'm going to sing and praise and shout and clap my hands. Or we have a choice to say, I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to enter into worship. The worship leader is not going to come down there and make you clap your hands. We have a choice. So will I reach out or will I complain because nobody reached out? Can I become an initiator or do I just want to be the receiver? This is why people complain after the honeymoon period is gone at the church. And we come to the church and everybody was so happy and everybody's so friendly and they all loved me, but a year later nobody talks to me. That tells me there's been no reciprocal action. Every day we have a choice to accept or to reject the limitations that keep us bound. Every day we have the choice to say, this is the way it's always been and this is the way we're going to leave it. Or we have the choice to say, this is the way it's always been, but today I'm making a choice. You know, we have a number of people that come from different countries that attend this church. There was a choice that had to be made. They didn't just one day wake up and say, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. They said, I want something different. I want something else. There's got to be a different way. A choice. Well, the same choice has to be made when we want something different in our life and in life. We get settled in, we get secure. We don't like what we've got, but it's familiar, so we'll just stay here. Oswald Smith says once you get enough pain at the place you are, you're going to want to change. That's one of the things that cause people to change. When the pain in the place, the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. Sometimes we need to have that pain so we will change. Our thinking, our past experiences can and will hinder each one of us from fulfilling our destiny. I've heard people say, well, I tried that. It didn't work. I've heard other people, Einstein is one of them, says, well, I found another way that doesn't work. It's such a little thing, but it makes so much difference. What do you say? I have 435 ways that do not work to make a light bulb. Others would say, oh, I tried 3 or 4 different things, it doesn't work, I'm giving up, it just doesn't work. No, I found 435 ways that it didn't work, so now I have to find the one that does. We were made for a purpose. We were made on purpose, for a purpose. In order for us to achieve our purpose, in order for us to be able to live free like we were intended to, we're going to have to learn to pull up the stake and run. We're going to have to learn to shrug off the temporary pain of the prod of past experiences and act. In order for us ever to fulfill our purposes, we are going to have to be willing to do something that we have never done before. One of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing you've always done, expecting different results. If we've done it before, and it didn't work, and you keep doing it the same way, you're going to get the same result. It's time to try something different. Now sometimes we're just going to have to act out, step out, and act strong, even when our insides are shaking like a leaf. Sometimes courage is nothing more than being able to shake off those feelings of doom and say, I'm still going to go out and do it. Some of the most courageous people I have met have said that fear that they face is unbelievable, but they refuse to allow their fear to stop them from taking that next step. Men that have gone out and done great and mighty things in different places, and one of the first things they have to do is fight fear. Why? It's the only way to move it to a different area. If it's comfortable, if it's familiar, you're going to get the same results. So sometimes you're just going to have to stand up and look on the outside, I can do